Hi guys, today I'm playing Missing, and in this game, we must try to find out what happened to our missing friend. What is this? There's a little laugh. What are you laughing at? I added your Polaroid to my notebook. Ugh, I don't look good in that photo though. No, look, it's like you're preserved here in my notes forever. Isn't that cool? I guess that's a nice thought. Right, I hope we can look back on the summer and the years to come and reminisce over the good old days. I hope we stay friends forever. Your friend has been missing for over a week now. The local police aren't getting anywhere with their search. It's a small town and missing people cases like this are rare and far between. You guess the lack of progress made in their investigations were due to the fact that they were ill-equipped to handle something like this. Or maybe they were just incompetent. Could just be they're incompetent. So you decided to take matters into your own hands. You had your suspicions. In fact, you've been suspicious of him for a while. It wasn't based on anything concrete. He's well liked in the community and seems like a normal guy. It was just an uncomfortable gut feeling. And so you find yourself standing outside a small house on the outskirts of the town. You look down into your notebook. The plan was to enter his home under the guise of an official investigation. Okay. You have to impersonate a detective, which might get you in trouble if discovered, but if all goes well, you'll be able to collect the evidence you need to find out what happened to your friend. Or maybe you were wrong. Maybe he's innocent and you're just blowing things out of proportion all because of a gut feeling. You look back up at the house. It's a simple one-story building and it looks quite homely. There are plants and other trinkets decorating the patio and the lawn is neatly kept. You feel a small pang of guilt for intruding on such a peaceful-looking home. But that slowly morphs into a sensation of fear. There's a chill running down your spine as you approach the front door. You stand outside, shifting from one foot to the other. This is it. Should you continue? It's not too late to back out now. Let's continue. You were nervous, yes, but you were also determined to seek out any clues that may help you find your friend. You quickly smooth out the creases in your dress, making yourself look presentable. This guy be convinced. With renewed resolve, you knock on the door. There's a small shuffling noise coming from within. One moment, you hear footsteps approaching, the door creaks open, and a friendly face steps in front to greet you. You've seen him around town a few times, but his strikingly unusual appearance always seems to surprise you. Can I help you? His sudden questions knocks you out of your stupor. Oh, yes. You pull out a fake badge with a fake identity from your pocket. I'm Detective Quinn with the Border Springs Police Department. You're a Crow, correct? Crow glanced at your hastily made badge. For a moment, you're worried he's caught on to you, but then he gives you an affirmative smile. That's me. I'm just here to ask you a few questions and pertains to an ongoing missing person investigation. Do you mind if I come in? Perfect, just as you had rehearsed. He eyes you for a moment. A missing persons investigation? You nod. Your palms were beginning to feel sweaty from all the nerves. He stares at you thoughtfully for a moment. Then he smiles again. Sure thing, detective. Come on in. I feel like he knows already. Crow motions for you to enter and you eagerly do so. As you step inside, he closes the door behind you. Oh, click. Before you can have any time for yourself to look around the place, you're quickly ushered towards the guest area. Sorry for my appearance, detective. I just got home from work, so I haven't gotten to change yet. He motions towards his outfit, the standard uniform issued to crew members at the local train station. I'll bring up some tea for you. Do you have any preferences? No, anything is fine. Thanks, though. Alright, I'll be back momentarily. Make yourself comfortable. You take a seat down at the table, eyes trailing after Crow as he leaves the room. This could be a great opportunity to look around. Let's look around. Eager to take advantage of his absence, you quickly leave your seat and head towards the hallway. It's a surprisingly long hallway. The place definitely looks smaller from the outside. The lights were all off, save for the yellow glow coming from the last room in the hall. You nervously turn the doorknob of said room and peek inside. It's a walk-in closet. Okay, fancy. Rows of clothes are neatly hung on the closet rod. Everything is meticulously arranged by color: blue, white, black. You walk deeper into the wardrobe, a little surprised that people actually have rooms of this size dedicated to clothing alone. Yeah, I guess. And that's when you notice it. It's suspiciously placed on the table, full of gloves, a blood-stained pair lay out in the open. You shakily step closer to get a better look, reaching out to pick up the piece of evidence you needed. Oh my god. I came to grab a new pair of gloves, but I didn't expect you to beat me to it. You nearly jump out of your skin at the sudden noise. Sheepishly, you turn to face Crow, who was leaning against the doorway. Upon your repositioning, he notices the specific article of clothing you were trying to grab. Ah, that. He smiles. I was field dressing a rabbit the other day. And don't worry, I've got a license. It was understandable. Many residents of Border Springs participated in the hunting of wild game during this season, but despite that, you still feel chills going down your spine. Now, I am a little uncomfortable with a young lady such as yourself going through my clothes. How about we call it a day here? I do have some matters to attend to. You nod meekly, embarrassed that he's caught you at such a bad time, and you are swiftly escorted out of his home. Ending 2 empty-handed. Oh, okay. So I'll try to get... Okay, let's see if I just, leave. If I don't work up the nerves to, go to him. Hey, back out. You bit your lips nervously. This was a bad idea. There are so many things that could go wrong. For all you know, he could be completely innocent. You'd be accusing him of a crime he didn't do and trespassing into his private property. On top of that, you definitely get into some legal trouble if you were found impersonating an authority figure. Head hanging low, you step back from the door. For a moment, your friend's smiling face flashes in your head. You take on one last look at the house, and then you leave. Ending 1. I was a coward in this ending. Alrighty, let's not snoop around this time. This time I'm going to wait. You decide to play it safe and wait for a while reviewing old notes. You pull out your notebook and pen from inside your pockets and flip through the pages. Ah, there he was. Crow. You couldn't find much information on him. You weren't even able to find his last name. He has virtually no social media presence, nor any close friends who do. He seems to be the easygoing type, but keeps to himself most of the time. You rub out your eyes in frustration. You spent the last week tailing him in secret, but that was the extent of what you found. He lives in such a painfully normal and boring life that you almost feel bad for the guy. But despite all that, your instincts were telling you that he was dangerous. And that's why you're here now. Your train of thought is broken as you hear the sound of running water going off in the kitchen. Check out the house. I'll stay in my seat. Unable to muster up the courage to leave your seat, you stay put in your spot, fingers nervously tapping the edge of the table. The whistling of the kettle goes off in the kitchen. You can hear the clatter of cups and utensils as Crow prepares the tea. After a few more minutes, he returns with a silver tray in his hand. He gently sets down a piping hot cup in front of you. Sugar? I'll pass. He sits across from you. He doesn't touch his tea. So, what did you come to me for? Ask him out. Ask him out. Let's ask him out. Are you serious? Yeah? Bugs of sweat are dripping down your face. Crow seems a little comfortable at your sudden weird behavior. I came today to, ask. Crow raises an eyebrow. Ask you on a date? There's a long silence between the two of you. Get out of my house. Oh, he was really mad. Yes, sir. Not a dating sim. Okay. continue, but like, how do I say it? 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 Okay, I'll be serious this time and ask him a question. I don't know why. Asking him if I was even there. Question him. You tried to keep up your facade as a detective, asking him questions about his relationships, his personal life, his schedule, and alibi. Of course, you weren't able to pick up on any inconsistencies, and your line of questioning was inefficient and lacked substance. This back and forth goes on for half an hour before you decide to finally cut your losses and leave. You rise from your seat, tucking away your notebook and pen back into your pocket. Will that be all, Detective Quinn? You sigh and give him a small nod, making your way towards the front door. Girl trails behind you, seeing you out. There's a feeling of defeat from not having gotten anything worthwhile out of this whole encounter, but you thank him for his time anyway. Glad to have been of help, Detective. You give a half-hearted nod as you walk across his front lawn. If you ever need more assistance with that investigation of yours, do feel free to come by for tea again sometime, Petunia Flores. You stumble mid-step. You never told me your real name. You turn back to face him and he was already gone. Playing detective. So he might be guilty for something. Okay, so I think there's one more ending to get. Maybe I'll try to snoop around after it asks me the second time if I want to snoop around. Alright, let's check out the house. Now that it sounded like he was preoccupied with whatever was going on in the kitchen, you decided to take this time to explore the rest of the house. You quietly leave your seat, scurrying over to a dark hallway. The lights are all off, so you had quite a bit of trouble navigating from room to room. One by one, down the hall, you peek into each room, a restroom, a storage room, a bedroom, and finally a closet. You sigh, rubbing tightly at your eyes. It was difficult to see anything in these conditions. Are you about to leave the closet? As you're about to leave the closet, you sleep briefly on a rug. Shoot. You quickly move to readjust the display floor covering, but notice something peculiar as you do. A trap door hidden underneath. Oh. You feel your heartbeat quicken. Cautiously, you lift up the heavy door and peer inside. Complete darkness. You take a step down. Then another. Until you reach the end. By now, your eyes have adjusted to the dim setting. There's a strange smell down here. You cover your mouth to mask the odor, but it permeates through the air regardless. And then you see it. A wall strewn with pictures of them. Your missing friend. Red ink is scribbled all over every photograph. Like proclamations of love towards them and threats of violence towards anyone else who dared interfere. You back up a little at the sight. You froze. That wasn't you. It came from behind. Now you've done it. I was going to let you go, you know. Detective Quinn. Or should I say Petunia Flores? I thought that humoring you in your little game of detective might satisfy that troublesome sixth sense of yours, but I can't believe you managed to slip this place out. A shame, really, a shame. Of all the inconvenience in my way, you are still tolerable to some extent. He pulls out a needle, and there's a murky substance inside. I do hope you won't take this personally. I was going to let you go, really, promise. But the circumstances have changed. Well, I can't have you getting in my way of love. Ending 5 missing. You really took her. Honestly, she should have just came with backup if she really was sure about him. yeah, I think this is going to be part of like a larger game later on. But overall, I like the premise of it so far. Yeah.